Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX. And it is finding support here at this 2739 area. And as of right now, we are under a gathering spot that I had marked for pre-market. So that level would have been around the 2821 up to the 2877. Now, can we bounce from here and go back to the upside? We very well can. Just know that we have this 20 EMA, which is around the 2749, and the 5 EMA at 2782. So those are going to be trouble places for us back to the upside. Now, again, our pre-market support was here at 28.22. Resistance was at 28.79. It seems like we broke out of that to the downside. Again, we can bounce and go back to the upside. So I always say, where are our trouble places, right? So it would need to back to the upside. If we break above this area here of 28.24, just know we can have trouble at 28.76, again at 29.19. If we break the 29.19, just know that 29.66 is going to be a trouble place for us back to the upside. And from 29.66, 29.76. So those are places to the upside that I will watch the VIX today. Now, if we lose this support here of, the 2739 area, just know that we can come back to 2651, under 2651, 2606, and under 2606 we could very well come back to this 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart, which is around 25.29, which brings us really close to the ATR trailing stop here at 24.99. So those are places to the upside and downside that I would watch for the VIX. And normally I look at the VIX because it kind of gives me an idea of what's going on with the SPY. And the SPY is interesting today. I have some levels marked. I was looking at it previously and I saw on the 4-hour chart that we had a hanging man candle, looks like a hanging man candle that was forming. So are we getting rejected here? Is this going to be a rejection place for us? I'm going to remove that now because that I need to watch that area. So back to the 30-minute chart for the SPY. I have this gray shaded area marked because it is a gathering spot on the daily chart. And again, it didn't surprise me that price came back to this area. So I wanted to point out something that I noticed with the SPY. And I'm going to go to the 1-hour chart to point this out. So price came back to this blue shaded area here. 1, 2, ran all the way up only to come back down 3, and this is just a gathering spot that we marked previously. So we've hit this level 1, 2, ran up, came back down to it again 3, right? So yesterday's sell-off, we came under that area back to the gathering spot on the daily chart. However, price did try to come back to the upside, but as you can see, the SPY is having trouble in this area here. So I would definitely watch the 519.21 and the 519.75. If we break back above the 519.75, then 79 area, then we have broken through that level of resistance that we had marked as support. And it's interesting to see us back at this place. And what's interesting is that, sometimes it ran up, but it came back down. It ran up and then it came back down only to bring us back in this area. So I have this level marked as a key level of support for the SPY, the 519.21, 519.79. And we are having trouble in that area again. So I'm going to go back to the 30-minute chart to find out where our trouble places are today. And another thing I wanted to point out with the SPY this morning is we marked this level of, the gathering spot here. And as you can see, that is where the 50 EMA is, on this 30-minute chart. And so if you have issues with using the different things on your time frame or the different moving averages, you can always just use support and resistance. Marking your gathering spot is very, very, or your consolidation areas are very important. So let's go find out where our trouble places are for the SPY. If again we break above 519.21, we can have trouble here at 519.79, which is right where this 50 EMA is right here. And beyond this 519.79 or 82 area, just know we can have trouble at 520.58, again at 521.02, beyond the 521.02, 521.76, and our ATR trailing stop is right here at 522.36. So those are trouble places to the upside for the SPY. If we break 522.53, just know we can have trouble at 523.17 and again at 523.84. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for the SPY. Now, to the downside, if we break under the 518.36 and we close at 518.66, so if we come back to the downside under this 518.36 or 518.27 area, just know that we can come back to 517.73. Under this 517.40 area is a level of where the gathering spot was for the day on the daily chart. So that is a strong area of support. If we break under the 517.40, just know that we can come back to the 516.93. Under the 516.93, we can come back to the 516.56. Under 516.56, we can come back and retest this area. Let's see here of 515.75. And yesterday we did make a low of 514.14, so it wouldn't be surprising to come back and retest this area. Just know that we are in a gathering spot on the daily chart, previous gathering spot on the daily chart. Now, if we break this 510 area, you know, that is strong support for the SPY. So I would definitely watch that area if you trade the SPY today. So yeah, today's going to be an interesting day. Let's say that, right? So let's go to Tesla and see where we are today. As of right now, we have pre-market support, which is right here at the 189.96 area. Resistance was here at the 191 area. So Tesla has been trading in this zone, as we can see here. Let's see if I can make it. Yes. So Tesla has been trading in this zone here. And our trouble places are, if we break above this level of where we are now, let's say above the 191.27, just know we're going to have trouble at 191.99, again at 192.27, above the 192.27, 193.08. It's going to be a trouble place, or 193.24. Between 193.08 and 193.24 is going to be a trouble place for Tesla. Now, if we break this area, just know that we could possibly have trouble here at 194.52, which is really close to this 50 EMA at 194.77. Now, if by chance, now anything is possible, nothing's guaranteed. Let's say that if we break above 194.77, just know that we could possibly have trouble here at 195.29, 196.48, and this ATR trailing stop, which is at 196.98. So those are going to be trouble places to the upside for Tesla. Now, to the downside, if we break under 189.95, just know that we can come back and have trouble here at 189.38, under 189.38, 188.74, and 188.48 are going to be support places for Tesla. Under the 188.48 or the 188.50, just know that we can come back to 187.82. Under the 187.82 area, just know that we could very well come back to 187.20. So those are going to be trouble places to the upside and to the downside for Tesla. And just keep in mind, let's see how much Tesla is moving on average today. $14.36. Again, that could be in either direction. I say if you trade Tesla today, trade carefully, trade cautiously. Anything is possible. So let's go to NVIDIA just to see where we are today. It seems like NVIDIA is coming back to the gathering spot here of the support area of 97.04, resistance 97.80. I would definitely watch this area. It seems like we went up only to come back to this place. That's why I say often it's really important that we mark the gathering spot, right? So right now, pre-market support is here at $98.49. We're going to mark our resistance here at $99.35. So we were trading in this zone. We broke out of this zone to come back to a previous gathering spot or gathering area, right? So our trouble places for NVIDIA back to the upside is 98.49. Beyond 98.49, 99.35. If we break 99.35, which is a gathering spot and the 20 EMA, just know that we could possibly have trouble here at $100.42. Above 142, we can have trouble again here at 101.05, which brings us close to 101.12, which is the 50 EMA on this day on the 30-minute chart. So if we break the 101.12 or 101.13 area, just know we could possibly have trouble at this 102.28, which is the ATR trailing stop that is forming, which is really close to this 102.46, which is a previous level that we have marked here. So I would watch the video to the upside and to the downside. Just know that anything is possible, right? So where are our trouble places to the downside? So if by chance we break under this 97.57 area, 96.86 is a trouble place for us. Under 96.86, we can come back and retest 95.98. Under the 95.98, we can come all the way back to 94.81. Under 94.81, 93.34. Under 93.34, 91.51. And if we break this 91.51, just know 90.69 is possible. I always say anything is possible, right? So if you trade NVIDIA today, I always say trade carefully. So AMD is creating a gathering spot for us. So we're going to mark that level here. Let's see if we can get that. So right as of right now, it is at trading in this zone here. That means support, I'm going to remove that. Support is here around the 129.24 area. 129.24. Resistance is here at 129.72. So we are trading, and I need to move that. We are trading in this zone here. And as of right now, our trouble places, if we break above 129.72 area, just know that we could have trouble back here at the 130.32. Above 130.32, it brings us closer to 50 EMA at 130.54. Above the 130.54 area, just know we can have trouble at 131.18. Above 131.18, 131.45 or 132.19. Those are going to be trouble places. 132.08. So those are going to be trouble places to the upside for AMD. Now to the downside, if we break under the 128.90 area, just know that we could possibly, find support at 128.64, which is kind of close to that. So under 128.64, we can come back to 128.24. Under the 128.24 area, 127.81. Under 127.81, 127.39. And under 127.39, we can come back to this 127 area. Under 127, 126.67. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside and to the downside, and it looks like as of now it is trying to break out of this area to the downside. So I would watch AMD and trade carefully. I always say that, trade carefully. What's interesting today is GameStop is an inside day candle, so I wanted to point that out. So if we break above 21.47, then the target to the upside for GameStop is 21.62. If by chance we break under 20.36, the target to the downside is 20.21. That was interesting to see that GameStop is an inside day candle. SMCI is one I haven't talked about in a while. So as of right now, we closed at 490.70, and it seems like our gathering spot is here at 489.54 area as resistance, and support is around, let's see, the 480.89. So 480.89 to 489.54 are places for SMCI that I would watch. It seems like it's trying to break out of this area. Only might get rejected here at the 490.06. Now, if we break the 490.06, just know we could have trouble here at 493.72. Above the 493.72, we can have trouble around 499.69. Above 499.69, 506.25. which brings us kind of close to the ATR trail and stop at 508.15. Above the 508.15, we can come all the way back to the 515.49. So I would definitely watch those places to the upside for SMCI. And because of the decline it had on yesterday from earnings. It reported earnings. We could very well, you know, this could be our support area and bounce back to the upside. So if you trade SMCI, to me, it's like Netflix. It's really different. It trades different. So trade carefully, trade cautiously. I say that often. So I'm going to go back to the SPY because we did have some economic data come out today, which was the jobless claims. And what's interesting is we have broken through this level. We are back at 522 area. I say trade carefully today. And just because it goes back to the upside does not mean we cannot come back to the downside, right? So again, it seems like it's getting rejected at this 30-minute ATR trailing stop. So that 522, this area 522, 36, 39 area is going to be a trouble place for us to the upside. Just know our trouble places as of now is 523.24, 523.83, 524.48, 524.88, 525.91. Those are going to be trouble places for the SPY to the upside. Again, just because it ran up now does not mean we can't reverse and come back to the downside. We did have a low of 514 on yesterday after market, so it could very well do as it does. Let's say that. So y'all, I hope today is a very productive day, a very profitable day for each of you. I always say we learn and we grow together. So if you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. So I always like to leave you with this, y'all. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.